Welcome, guys. And here we are today. We have it's always a special guest, right? Anytime that we get here, but today, a very special guest, somebody that is not just one of my best clients, but a very dear friend. And I've had the pleasure of spending some time with. And she is here today to go over some really, really awesome information, guys. She's going to share how she's been able to grow her own agency and how she is seeing the success that she's seeing quickly. This is happening so fast, and she is giving us a couple of minutes and giving us some insights on some of the things that she's doing. And if you're out there and you're thinking about building an agency or starting to grow your team, this is going to be a really, really great episode. So let's kick things off. I'm going to introduce her in just 1 second. And here we go, guys. Fantastic. All right. So here we are, Ashley Mullinex.
Hi. How are you? I'm doing good. Thanks for having me. Always a pleasure.
It's always good to just talk to you and chat. And so good to have you. I appreciate you giving us a couple minutes to just talk a little bit 100%. And share your story about where you are now. You know, obviously, you and I have been working together for a little while now. You know, and seeing your progression and obviously our progression, and it feels like we both have grown together in our own independent ways, and it's just really awesome to. At this point, not just have a work relationship with you, but have a friendship. And so I appreciate you here and taking some time. So let's get right into this thing. So one of the things that we do for you and that we help your agency Amplify Life. And if anybody's out there and you're looking for an agency to join, guys, underneath here, you're going to see the link. Go join it. It's an incredible team. It's growing at a very, very rapid pace. And people are seeing incredible success. So today I want to just ask you a couple of questions, Ashley, on how have you been able to grow the agency, right? From, we can touch a little bit on things like onboarding, and then obviously on the lead generation component, which is a part that we help you with. And we're just going to go through a couple of those things. And I think we can really provide some value to some agents that are out there thinking about building a team or starting a team. So I'll ask you this. How long now have you been working on really focused on building a team? When did that begin for you?
About 4 months ago, actually. So not even a half a year, 4 months.
Wow. That's unbelievable. That is incredible. You know what I mean? 4 months of just starting this thing. How many agents are you at right now?
So 22 active agents, and last month 17 wrote business out of the 22.
Wow.
Yeah. Month 4.
That's incredible. Because I say it's incredible because obviously 22 agents in 4 months, but the bigger stat there is that's 80% of the agents wrote business, somewhere around there, 70, 80%.
Yeah.
That's an unreal number, right? I think that for those of us that know this industry and know the process, typically, right, you have agents within the agency, and you might have hundreds, right? Because you see people out there that are like, well, I have 300 agents, but who are actually producing, right? Mm-hmm. How many people do you actually have that are making money for themselves and making the agency money? And I think what I see out there from talking to so many agents, it's like 30, 40% typically, right? That number is much lower. So
there's some things that I'm trying to implement because I know that that's the statistic, right? Mm-hmm. But I also know in my core that I'm finding that I'm able to mitigate that. And so far, 4 months in, it's working.
What would you say is something that's helping you mitigate and that's getting these agents to produce and to write?
Yeah. So it's the initial, I feel like the conversation that I'm having. So just what they can expect from me as a mentor and a leader, but what I also expect from them coming into it. And I am fully transparent. I have kind of these guidelines of, yes, you're 1099, you are your own boss. I can't twist your wrist. However, I also am not going to accept you as a risk and co-sign on your debt if you can't show up and do the things that you said you were going to do. And so there is a level of gatekeeping in the agency. And so full transparency, yes, there's 22 active agents, 17 wrote business, but all in all, I have a total of 35. And those 35 are paid as earned, and they're already out. They don't come, they don't show up, they don't do the activities. Every single agent who comes to the wake-up calls, who did the 2 weeks of the onboarding training, the role plays, the call reviews, everyone's in the dial room and they are all producing. There is a correlation between those who show up and plug in to actually putting numbers up on the board. Incredible. And if you can't hang, I just put you paid as earned because I'm not taking the risk.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. So being selective, right? Not just letting anybody in through the door. And then once they do come through the door, they actually have to do the things that you have set in place, which obviously
they said, right? Like that's part of establishing it. They said, this is what is expected. Can you do it? Yes, I can. Is there anything that would kind of stop you from being able to do this? No. And I do have some agents who are saying, well, I have to turn in my 2 weeks notice. Like right now I have a teacher onboarding. And so she literally is grading papers at a desk with her headbud in, listening to our wake up calls and our call reviews. And she's in it to win it, but she's also in her 2 week transition. So again, I already know she's going to come in and do amazing things because she's showing up and she's committing to herself to do what she said.
Wow. Incredible. So take notes, guys, right? Be selective, hold people accountable. If they're going to join your team, make sure that they're doing the things that you set for them and that they set for themselves, right? Because it's really important. Like you're pouring in so much into your agents, right? I see that every day because I talk to your agents and we work with them. And every single one of them says the same thing. It's like, gosh, I love working with Ashley. You're so like one-on-one with people, right? You're always there for them. You're always pouring into them. And so if you're going to start an agency and you're going to invest your time into people, you got to make sure that you hold them accountable for the things that they're supposed to do. Incredible. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about, so now people come in, you get them onboarded, and now the big question, right? Leads, and obviously we help you with running campaigns and all that, but more importantly, we've built out the agency system within your structure. And so tell us a little bit about the simplicity, how it's been your experience in bringing an agent on and having them set up under your ad account and what that actually looks like and how it's helped you guys grow.
Game changer. One word, game changer. I could not, honestly. So when I was a solo agent on my own island doing my own thing, obviously I was like ScaleMySocial all day long. But now on the agency side, having complete control and helping your agents get up to speed very quickly, get leads at cost, it changes the entire game because not only can they launch quickly and they're saving front end money, which means they can do more and longer for that growing curve for them on the phones. Now I have agents who don't want to leave me, right? Because if they can't, if they wanted to, they're not going to be tempted in the long haul by, the grass is greener over here, but if I go over there and now I'm doing third-party vendor leads and my leads are no longer $7 a lead, I have to be prepared to spend $25 a lead. And so as someone's building, there's also that, what's the word? It's evading my mind right now. It's sticky. It creates sticky agents, the persistency, thank you. Yes. Yeah. So on all levels, and it really is, you can see it in the agents when they realize what their lead cost is coming in at. It's like their shoulders drop a little bit. They're like, oh, okay. Because they know how much, I don't want to name names, but those other big guys out in the space. I don't know if I'm going to get slapped, the 3-letter IMO, the other lead guys, right? You pay a lot of money. And it is extremely hard to come in the gate and spend $1,800, $2,200 a week for a batch of 100.
Yeah, it's tough.
They don't do that.
Right. Yeah,
it's very powerful.
It's something that obviously, and again, there's been some challenges, right? Starting off, building things and getting agents going, but the simplicity of not just, again, an agent starts today. We're able to get an agent really set up and running for you within 48 to 72 hours, right?
Very quickly.
And that agent doesn't need to have their own ad account, right? The system and structure that we've built, which is where the other part that I also like to tell potential clients and people that are building an agency, right? Like you mentioned something really important, right? Retention, right? How can I help retain my agents that are producing? And obviously that's by providing them additional tools, support, system.
Yeah.
And what this does is, one is it's giving them access to quickly use an ad account and start generating leads at cost, right? And so it limits them from having to set up an ad account, from going through the spend limits, all the things that happen when you're setting up a brand new ad account. Your ad account's been running now for several years, obviously. And in the last 4 months that we've been able to put more agents through it, right? You are using the power of everyone, right? Everyone's pulling their money in together, putting it into one ad account, which is helping each agent, but it's also helping you as the agency owner build that audience and get more money and more history through the ad account, which makes it optimize and produce better results, right? So this is a system that's helping you greatly grow, and also the agents tap into something that obviously is working. That's it hasn't been easy, right? And some of the things, like to break down the nuts and bolts of this, right? So an agent comes in and now they say, okay, I want to use your ad account, right? We set up. What does it look like as far as like them paying, right? Like, how does that work, right? And who manages that? How does that run?
Yeah, absolutely. So the way I have it set up, whenever anyone onboards into my team, I have kind of like a course load. And it's when you come in the first day, do this, do this, do this, do this. There's checkpoint. You got to get the EIN, you got to get the CRM, you got to get the systems up and going. One of the systems is you need to start your sub account. You've got to get that set up. And so it is as simple in their onboarding process. They click, they're sent to the site where they submit that's your form that you have for them. They fill out the information. I'm completely hands off. I'm hands off. Like, it is sitting in my course somewhere. I don't know what line it is, but they do it. And it's automated for them, because once they send the information over to ScaleMySocial, ScaleMySocial is now creating the sub account. They already have access to everything. They already have it linked up. And once that, first 48 hours, 72 hours goes in and the account's set up for them, then ScaleMySocial is sending them a follow-up email with a link saying, now it's time to purchase your ad spend. ScaleMySocial, you guys take the money. Like, I don't have to worry about the payment. You set up the Stripe account, you linked it to the Facebook Meta account. Like, I didn't have to do anything other than say, hey, I can provide you leads at cost.
Fantastic, right?
So yes, wonderful.
We run. It's a lot of work behind the scenes, right? But I think those are the tools that have helped you, right? And many other things that you're doing, right? Because you mentioned something important, like you have an onboarding process, right? They're following step 1, step 2, step 3. We're just part of that process that you've been able to streamline for agents. Yes. And so super important, guys, if you're out there and you want to build an agency, you want to build a team, systems, processes are at the core of how you're going to be able to do that. You can't just wing it. It can't just be you doing everything, all the admin work. You have to have these systems in place. We play a very small part in there, but to give a little bit even more detail, right? So now that person comes in and says, okay, I want that sub account, and the sub account exists within your own ad account. So agent A comes in, we're going to create that campaign within your ad account. It's specific to that agent. And then we're going to say, great, your campaign is ready to go live. Here's a link. They're going to choose how much money they want to spend per week, and we have different options for them. They click on it. It takes them to your Stripe account, right? We never we don't touch any of the money, and they're paying in advance for the next 7 days of spend. So as the agency, you're never going to be left with a bill, right? If an agent says, hey, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore, well, they've paid you for 7 days of ad spend. So you're covered as the agency. We manage the entire process on the back end. And then, of course, we also provide reporting, right? Because these ads are running on your ad account. The agent doesn't have access to it. So in addition to it, we do provide weekly reporting to that agent to show them where the money went, how much each lead came in at, how many leads they got, impressions, all the metrics that gives them visibility into their own campaigns. And I think what's been the verdict, right, from agents in that process, everybody pretty happy with it. Obviously production is happening out there, but give people their thoughts on that.
Yeah. So, initially it was a little clunky trying to, figure it out. I think when we first kind of launched, we didn't have the report, right? And then we quickly realized, oh, we're missing that component. Let's add in the report. But it is something that's nice because as the agency owner, when I am meeting up and we're syncing up for our wake up calls and everything, I have autonomy to go in and just look at the accounts. Like, it's not like I'm in the dark and I'm their leader. So I can also, if they have questions, I can quickly answer them for them. But also, your team is so good about being responsive to the emails, and you will do one-on-ones. And even yourself, Oscar, like you've sat down with a couple of my agents and had full-blown conversations about like their model and what they're doing. And, you've been in the final expense world. You've sold final expense before, so you know how to help them even beyond just kind of questions on their ads account. So the whole process it's not been taxing on the agent. My agents are not worried or concerned or scared for their leads, because that's the thing that you have to have a solid lead structure, and you don't want your agents questioning, well, is there a better source? Like, is the grass greener on the other side? Should I pivot this week and try this vendor? Should I go over here and try this vendor? And then what happens is they jump around, and then they're worried just on the leads themselves and the money that they're spending, and that hurts them in their presentation, because they can't disattach from the marketing side and where am I getting my business from, and it hurts them. So if you as an agency owner can control that and for peace of mind, tell your agents, listen, this is the best way, and we're all in the same boat. We are all rowing in the same direction. Trust the process because it works. Then what happens is people start to make sales, agents start to close, my top producers become top producers, and then every agent on my team realizes, okay, I have the same lead source. Right. I'm doing the same thing as the top 3 agents. If they can do it, I can do it. And they don't question the leads like every other agent does for everything else in the world. Like, it is so powerful on so many different levels.
Awesome. So awesome. Yeah. And we try to be obviously as transparent as possible and give agents the access and the visibility, because we don't make money on a lead, right? Our goal is, like, we want agents to produce. We want agents to get the leads at as good a price as possible, because that's going to keep them in the program. And then obviously they're producing and they're making money. Something that we talk about a lot and that we see out there, it's like, you'll hear things like, oh, ad management, you don't want to do that because there's a lot of work involved and all these things that you hear. But when you have a partner, right, somebody that can actually deliver and take that off of your shoulders and let you just focus on running your business, and you have someone like us that can come in and manage it for you and give your agents the visibility. And it's something that now again, we're in month 4, some of your top producers, when they first started, we were getting their campaigns going. And yes, you have to go through learning. And yes, there's going to be some up and downs in the first 30 days. But we just looked at, before we got on this call, right, specifically one of your agents that we made adjustments. We said, okay, leads are coming in at a good price. It's now consistent. How can we better the quality of those leads? And so we started introducing things like more questions, SMS verification, all these additional tools that we have. And in doing so, in the last 2 weeks, this specific agent went from 4% closing to 6% closing to 7% closing. And so we are seeing the benefit of not just generating leads at wholesale, right? Because that's not what it's just about, but the ability for the agent to have control and pull the levers that you just can't do if you're buying leads, right?
And so speaking of levers, just to interject and add to that, not only is that same agent, did her close rate start to increase, what also did we just talk about? She needs to stop spending. She's spending too much money on leads. She's getting too many leads. I mean, come on.
That was the email, right? The email, she was like, I can't keep up with the leads. And so, of course, you and I were like, well, man, what's happening?
You don't have many leads. Like, you got a lot of leads coming your way. But but that agent is coming from the world of, to her, it is custom to spend $2,500 a week
Yeah.
And so if she's only sitting here, she's probably at 1,600, 1,400 a week. I don't even, right about there. So to her, that's also a steal of a deal. And we're about to go back and be like, no. You got to crank it down further.
Yeah. You don't need to.
Yeah.
You got it, because you're able to say, okay, and that's the beauty of it, right? It's like, okay, if my skill is better, right, and I used to close 5% and now I close 8%,
Yep.
I don't need the same amount of leads, right?
Nope.
And so that's the thing now. And so that's an incredible thing that that I'm super proud of, and I'm so happy that that you have given me and my company and us the opportunity to do this for you. I can't imagine where things are going to be 6 months from now, a year from now. And I appreciate you so much and the entire team. Guys, if you're out there and you're thinking about building an agency, you've started building an agency and you're struggling with leads for your agents, for your team, we can help, right? And we can't help everybody. But if you're interested in having more information and us having a real assessment and having a good conversation about, could our system work for you guys, I encourage you to, somewhere below here, book a call, right? Book a call with us. And if you happen to, talk to Ashley and she sends you over, we're going to give you a really special discount, guys. So just know that. And I appreciate you, Ashley, so much for spending a little bit of time. Any last words, anything else that you want to say before we head out?
Yeah, I'm first and foremost, I just want to thank you and ScaleMySocial and your entire team. And your team is growing, right? You got an arsenal behind you. You got a lot coming your way, and you keep conquering it. So I just wanted to say thank you for just pouring into me, always being there as a support. I really do value our friendship as it keeps growing, personal and business wise. So thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. There you have it. Come check us out. If you have any questions, drop us a line. Follow us on all social media at ScaleMySocial. And if you're looking for Ashley, if you're looking for that team to join, Amplify Life Group, all her information will be below. Go check her out. She is incredible, highly recommended. Even if you're an agency, I think at some point you're going to start bringing agencies under you, right? So I think if you're looking for that structure, guys, it's going to be tough to find a better solution. Appreciate everybody out there, and we will see you next time.